Hey, what's going on, boys?
Hey.
We've got a motley crew here tonight with us, so things could get interesting. We've got Chris with us, obviously CLFurlong, always bringing the love, and Uncle Wayno with the new computer and new camera tonight. So we're getting the HD version of Uncle Wayno.
I don't know if it's HD, but it's not blurry like it was last time.
And
in HD anyway, to be honest.
Well, I downgraded my camera tonight, not because it wouldn't work. I just didn't want it to be too close up. So I've had some camera issues, but and we've got our boy Brad back with us. He went on a bit of a walk before the stream and almost didn't make it back. So we're glad to have him with us.
It was a bit of fun, nice night out there. So. Can't go with that. We can't go outside 5 kilometres of your own house, and because I'm an asshole and I don't like authority, I went 6K. So, fuck you, Dan Andrews.
I don't know about that one, mate. That's a bit reckless, that one. So we're pretty much missing our boy Drew tonight. He's taking the week off, but hopefully we'll get him back on soon. Obviously, Sydney are in some pretty hard lockdowns, so. Big shout out to all the people in Sydney, obviously Melbourne as well. Now you guys are all in lockdown. Queensland, I think NT had a snap lockdown for a little bit. So I think there's only a couple of states that are even available to go thrifting at the moment. So it's pretty hard times, but it's really good to have these chats, obviously, and have a bit of fun on a Sunday night because lockdowns aren't fun. So gotta get up and about. But we've got a few in the chat already, so we'll say a quick hello to everyone if we want to get around. We've got Aussie Tip Wrap, which is always one that we like to see in the house. I think that's a new logo there as well.
That is. Cool. I like it.
Jazz is keeping us safe. Chris is multitasking in the chat and also on stream, so he's going pretty hard. We got Maddie. I've got to give this one to Jada because it's all about
Thrifting. I was good to see.
We don't have any Drew limbering up this week, so we're a little bit slow.
They're drawing rubbish for them. It's not the same without those boys.
Disgruntled Octopus, I saw hit 888 feedback the other day on the old eBay. Tagged a few people in that one. So well done, Octopus, getting those 8 tentacles into gear. I think he was playing up a bit though, because he said he'd been selling for 8 months. He had 888 feedback, and there's another 8 in there as well. And I was like, surely there's something weird going on here. We've got Wayne, we've got Raucous Reg, we've got Paul, we've got the modern Neanderthal as a quality beard. I don't know if it rivals Wayno's, but it's definitely up there.
Oh, he's got me.
And we got Recommerce Dave. So we'll get straight into it. If you guys have any questions for Chris or Wayne or Brad or myself along the way, drop them in and we'll try and pick them up. But it's Sunday, so usually we just talk a bit of crap. But how's the week been? We'll start with Brad. How's the week been on eBay and in general back into lockdown? So how's things going for you, mate?
Sure. The old roller coaster on eBay and the roller coaster in life. I've been up at the top and I've been down at the bottom. eBay, like last weekend, was really good. Monday and Tuesday was dog shit. Like I'm talking Monday was one of the lowest days I've had since being full-time. Mm-hmm. And then Wednesday come in with one of my biggest days ever. Yep. So that's just crazy. Roller coaster activity going on there. Weekend's pretty solid. We're talking before the stream. I'm probably going to just click over 50 sales for the weekend, which is kind of my target goal for those sort of few days over the weekend these days. A lot of that is crap. Don't get me wrong. There's, some junky shit that I'm just moving out of the store. But overall, happy with the sort of volume going out. Back in lockdown. So that got me a bit flat. My shit football team lost again. That got me a bit flat. And then we were relying on another football team to get my football team in the top 4 where they've sat all year. And they fucking didn't do it either. So just a little bit flat this weekend.
Your doggies don't like.
So I've traded myself. I'm on the run. I'm in the run.
Oh,
so
bunnies.
It's a bit of a feel-good story this weekend. We're going to smack into the rum cans.
There we go. But I think there's a bit of a common story there. Interesting you say you had a very slow Monday or Tuesday because our Tuesday was the slowest we've had in a very long time as well. And then Wednesday was ballistic. So old eBay must be doing something back in, I reckon.
It's crazy. It's to put it into perspective. I think it was a Tuesday was my, as I said, lowest day since being full time, and I did $180 for the day gross, followed by 1,500 the next day, 1,600 or something.
Wow.
Like, that's the big difference. That's it's a substantial amount. It's crazy.
Makes no sense.
So,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And Chris, obviously you've been thrown into lockdown as well. You're still trying to pump out some of the runs and stuff, but trying to keep the listing strong. Because obviously we've been chatting quite a lot on the back end. The cat's come for a visit as well, so hello. But how have things been for you this week, Chris? And in, I guess, longer term as well, because it's been a while since you've been on the channel. So
yeah, so look, I mean, this week's also been the roller coaster. The first 3 days, you know, well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was actually pretty consistent, about 140 per day. But then Thursday, it's just a bit $44. Just you know, it was like 2 or 3 sales. So really that roller coaster. And then yesterday I did the biggest for the week, and today has been pretty steady. So look, I'm not complaining. It's still an above average week, but sometimes, you know, as you're going through the week and you're not really seeing things moving and growing, you're like, okay, am I going to actually hit an average? But it came through, and it was a bit weird. There was one moment there where I hadn't had anything, and then it was like literally eBay had turned something on, and at like 9:05 p.m. on, I think it was, it must have been yesterday, like 5 sales just came through, like literally all at the same time. It's like there was a bottleneck. And I was just like, what the heck? All from different people. It was just really weird. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it was a bit dodgy. So look, it is what it is. We have these weeks, and, you know, that's all part of the journey. But in general, look, things have been going well. I can't complain. I really can't, because I'm still continuing to get the results that I mean, we can always want more, but I'm getting good results. You know, I'm not complaining. It's an above average week. Still, you know, charging onwards, learning each week. And, you know, I've been trying to do, I think one thing with the lockdown is, yes, you know, Melbourne was only meant to be in lockdown for 2-3 weeks, but I think it's going to be longer. So I'm just being mindful of how I'm managing my stock, because I've been trying to do 15 listings per day. But now what I've been doing is between 5 to 10 new listings, and then the delta being just, you know, sell similars, just to, you know, get some of those items ticking through that are older than 90 days. And, you know, some of those have actually started to sell through or get more eyes and watches on it. So it's something that I actually had never been doing. So it's kind of forced me to do that. But I think by end of next week, I'll have a whole bunch of new stock. Got some opportunities locally to get some more stock, just DVDs and books, but it all adds up. So keen to get some fresh listings, because it does get pretty boring when you're doing exactly the same thing. It's nice to be able to get some of those odd items in there, but we don't really have a choice at this point. So it's just a matter of getting it up there, and you never know what's going to sell, right? So just got to stick to it.
Yeah, that's it. And I think you're taking the best approach there. You kind of trying to make sure, you know, you maintain it and keep it going, and keeping those listings coming. And, you know, sometimes we don't get the sales we always want, but you just got to keep pushing, and
that's it.
It all adds up. It's a bit of a snowball, I think. You just keep adding, and it might not happen straight away, but give it a week or two, and then all of a sudden you're having a really good week again. So it's the wider view, I think. And Wayno, you don't really have a stock problem, because you just picked up a bloody massive load of VHS. So apart from that, what's been happening for you, and how's things been?
Oh, well, I can tell you I didn't have a stock problem before I picked up those bloody VHS. You could see to the left of me right now. You wouldn't believe it. But, yeah, my eBay the last week and a half since I got the VHS tapes has just straight down, because I've completely just neglected it. But I've been selling tapes on Facebook, and I've sold. I started selling some cards as well. I razzed off the 101 card that I got a few months ago. I razzed that off, and I got 320 or something like that for that. So that was pretty good. And I've only made about 500 out of the tapes so far, but I only listed them. I listed them for 2 days, and I knocked back a lot of the offers because they were just too low. So, I just didn't respond to them. But yeah, I made about 500 out of them. So I've got my money back. That was really all I needed to do. And then I'll start listing them slowly on eBay over time. So
yeah, it was
all that up.
That was a big lot there, and I I could see the excitement in your eyes when you opened that one that had the old footy grand final in it from your old club. That was pretty special.
It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I was like, because I quit the year before, I'm pretty sure. So I haven't had a look at it yet. I can't wait to watch it. It's probably got a whole bunch of me mates. But I've been too knackered after dealing with all the bloody takes. So the last few days I've just sort of had a bit of a rest. I'm a bit older than you guys, so when I start moving shit around, stuff starts to pretty quickly.
I'm already feeling those pains, mate. I can't even remember what it was, but it was after we moved the books. My back and legs were hurting for 2 days later, and I was like, why am I sore? Like, what have I done? And I was like, I walked down a driveway. Apparently walking down a driveway is a problem now. Apparently that's a thing. So
I pulled a muscle in my neck hopping out of my car the other day. It happens to me all the time. So, carting 2,400 videotapes around. My mate was helping me, Dale, and he was stuffed as well. And I said to him, this is why I don't deal with books, because they're too bloody heavy. The videotapes are the same.
Yeah. I can't imagine getting that many books out of a place like that. That's for sure. I was pretty lucky that ours was thin stuff, not hardcover backs and stuff. It's cool to see when you get those big lots. So, and the way that you broke it down and kind of said, these are all the big box ones, these are the clamshells, these are the ones that are not worth anything. And I think that's a big part of when you're doing like VHS and DVDs. You're going to get stuff that's like literally not worth listing. Or 100%. If you want to lot it up, then sure, but there's a lot of work in that as well. So,
probably good. With all those things, DVDs, CDs, cassette, you buy a bulk lot, you're going to have anywhere between 80 and 90% of them just aren't worth listing, basically. So, but usually you can get your money if you buy a bulk lot of 200 DVDs for $100. You might be able to sell 20 of them. You can usually sell the other 180 to get your money back. $100.
Yeah, there's little ways around it, isn't there? I noticed a few more drop-ins, so I'll say a quick hello. The Hub is in. What is up? We've got Urban Fossicker, Megan. Good to see you. I think Megan has a little bit of an announcement as well. I'm not sure if she wants to tell anybody near yet, but if she wants to drop that in the chat, that would be pretty cool. We've got Moderns and Memories. Good to see you, Scotty. I always stumble on that name because it's all joined together. I'm like, what is that even? We've got Oz Riley, Rack Raiders in the chat. Hope you guys are doing well. We've got Daniel. What is up? Hey, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. It's been a massive week for me, hoping to get 3K tonight. Currently sitting at 2.6. Solid week. We've got lockdown in Melbourne is a great time for most to focus on offers, tweak new coupons, and so forth. Maybe even investigate international items listing as well. Things some have put on the back burner. For sure. What do we got? Uncle Wayno is such a ray of sunshine in these shitty times. That's it. And that's why it's always good that people are putting stuff out, even though that, people in lockdown. This is something me and Jazz have been like grappling with, whether we should keep putting out thrifting videos, because we're like, we don't want to be like showing people that we can go out when they can't. Like, it's kind of that conundrum, but you want to like provide the content so people can enjoy it at the same time. So it's great to see so many videos still coming out, even with those people in lockdown. So
I think get the videos and they can't go out themselves. Helps get you a little bit of a fix.
That's it.
Yeah. You gotta love it. Peter's in the house as well. And there we go. There's Megan's announcement. So she's joining the full-time crew in 20 days. So awesome. The full-time crew is getting bigger by the day, which is awesome. Great to hear. I was talking to Megan earlier today. So congratulations, Megan. That's awesome. And I can tell you from firsthand, waking up to no alarm is pretty awesome. I'll give you that.
I actually get up earlier since going full-time.
That's a rookie mistake, mate. That's a rookie mistake.
We'll see how long it takes you.
Yeah, I think I'll do it. I'm a 5 a.m. every day.
No, I couldn't. No. I'll stay up late. I'll stay up late and list late if I want to, but I'm not getting up before 7. I'm telling you now. It's not happening.
Yeah. My thing is having a kid. That's the main reason, because I can get up, get a fair bit of stuff packed, start my day strong, and sometimes even get a few things listed if I've had a slow day the day before, before I have to get him ready for daycare. So I brought that into my routine. The problem was, by starting earlier, I was actually going to start going to bed earlier too, but that
Didn't happen.
doesn't always happen. Therefore, I'm
Oops.
not doing a whole lot of sleeping, but yeah, you sleep when you're dead.
Yeah, you're usually one of the last one that drops off my messages lists. There's usually a couple messages been flicked around 11:30, but yeah, it's everyone has different schedules, and as long as you're getting what you need to do and you're actually taking some sleep, Judder, that's the important thing. So I guess that's what full time allows you to do. You work on your own hours. You can take time away with your kid when you need it, and you're scheduling your own day. So advantages and disadvantages, but I'd say overall it's definitely I'll be.
Put it this way, I'm getting a lot more sleep than I used to because I was doing 12-hour night shifts. So I'd actually go like a 12-hour stint on Friday, Saturday, Sunday night shift, and I'd do like 2 to 3 hours sleep a day and then work. So now if I'm getting, 4 or 5 hours sleep of a night, that's really good for me. I'm not used to having this much energy. So I don't think I'll ever do 8 hours, but I'll build to 6. That's my goal.
Baby steps.
That's it. That's right. Chris, what's your schedule like? I know you usually get up pretty early for the running and stuff, but you're up reasonably late some nights as well, here and there.
Yeah. So I try to. I am trying to keep it to a routine. So usually, naturally, I'm up at 6, but I have my alarm as a backup by 7. But I tend to just wake up. But now that it's starting to get lighter as well, you're just waking up naturally. But yeah, I like to try and get the runs happening as early as 8 a.m. because especially if I'm doing it like today, I did a 3-hour run. So to do that, the earlier I start, the better, because otherwise you just lose half the day. But I'm usually trying to go to bed by 11 because I want to make sure, because I am doing the training for my running and stuff, that sleep is key for recovery. Although, if I've got things on, I did a podcast this week, which was in the US. So I didn't finish till about 12:30 a.m. Because it was their time in the morning. So I, just had to suck it up, but can't really go anywhere. So I was able to sleep in a bit more.
Yeah, well, it's like give and take, isn't it? You take a bit off one end and chuck it back on the other end.
That's right. But I try and keep it consistent to 7 hours sleep, to be honest.
Yeah, no, you said you ran for 3 hours today. Now, I don't think I've ran for 3 hours total in the last 2 years. So it's Wayne's coming top it.
I was getting nauseous while you were talking about that.
3 hours that's a long haul, mate. I think the longest I've ever done was just over an hour. So 3 hours that's a lot of time on feet. So that's a big effort. Yeah.
You said you're going to have the runs in the morning. I think I am too, but that's more because I'm on these things.
Notice when I said that, I'm thinking I've just left it open for something.
I was just leaving it for Judder. I knew he'd pick up on it at some point. Yeah, he got in. And Wayne, what about you, mate? What's your schedule like? Are you an early riser, late lister? What's your goal, or not goal, but what's your routine?
It just depends. It just depends when I go to bed, really. If I go to bed at 11, I'll probably get up about 7. If I go to bed at 2, I'll probably get up about 9. It's pretty much how it works. I try to go to bed. I try to go to bed about 11 to 12 every night, just because I've had the sleeping problems and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it helps to sort of have a bit more of a routine. But it's quite often I'll find myself just lying on the couch. I can't be bothered getting up to go to bed, so I'll just stay there till like 2 o'clock.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've been noticing since going full time, my bedtime's getting pushed a little bit back further and further and further and further. And it's kind of like I actually find myself more motivated at night to do stuff now. So it's kind of like I'm just letting myself be busy in the morning, and then I sort of crash around the lunchtime for some reason. So I just don't plan anything for that time.
Yeah.
And then after lunch, I'll hit it hard again, like list, do a video, or do whatever needs to be done. So it's a lot easier to find my own routine now. Whereas when I was full time, it was just like this is the only time you have. Like at the end of the day,
you've got the pressure knowing that you're going to have to go to work tomorrow, so you don't want to be totally sleep crazed. And yeah, I think that makes sense because you can kind of work your own time. So if you want to do listings in the evening, I'm the same. Like I could be playing video games, or I'm like, oh well, actually I might do a bit more on the store, or check out this, or get ahead because that's what you're excited to do, right? So whereas if you were working the next day, you kind of think, oh no, I probably should just go to bed, kind of thing.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest struggles, was that countdown of always, like, on a Sunday, would come on the Worldwide Reselling, which I absolutely loved. But it was always like, I knew as soon as Worldwide Reselling finished, I'd have like 2.5 hours to like wind down, get the postage done. Obviously, Jazzy helps quite a lot with that. But, it was always just that ticking clock of like, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So I'm really glad that that's not the case now. And I'm still
It's going to be less fun. That's less fun for me. Because Robbie and I used to see how long we could keep you on here after the show. We've kept you here till 10 o'clock some nights.
We'd be here an hour after, and I'm like, man, I've really got to go. Like,
Brett could say 4 or 5 times, all right, I'm going to go. And at 10 o'clock, he's still there just to talk to us. It was fun, man. I'm going to miss that.
Yeah, it's just holding me back as long as you can. Just seeing how long the rope will last. No, I love it. It is great, and you get to do a lot more things that you wouldn't normally do. We got to go to some pickups this week that happened midweek that if I wasn't full time, we wouldn't have got there. So definitely advantages. But we got Cara in the house. What is up, Cara? Good to see you. We actually went out with her on Friday, I think it was. Saturday. I don't remember what day now. It must have been Saturday, to a exhibition. So that was pretty cool. I wanted to talk a little bit about, I guess, Chris, for yourself, since the last time we had you on, which was probably a couple months now. Obviously, we've all been following the channel, and I will say that both these boys and Flipper's channel is in the description. So if you somehow haven't found them yet, make sure you jump over and give them a sub. But Chris, obviously, you've been documenting a lot of the journey on your channel, but if you look back sort of 2 to 3 months ago now to where you are now, like, what do you think the biggest change for you, and has there been sort of a realization, or just like now you're putting in that reps that you're seeing some differences in your sort of motivation to do things as well?
Yeah, look, I mean, there's obviously 2 ways I can look at it. I can look at it from what the numbers tell me, and then what I have actually learned from that. So from a numbers perspective, for the first couple of months, I mean, I was pretty happy with how I was going for the first couple of months, because I averaged about almost 2,500 per month first starting, right? So to me, it was kind of like, well, I had no idea what to expect, and to have that for the first 3 months, it was like, okay, this is pretty good, right? And then, but then to compare for the last 3 months, it's basically been about 4.5. So I've almost doubled that for the last 3 months. So I think when I look at that, it's like, okay, so what have I actually applied differently? And it's been the daily listings. I was doing roughly about 60 listings a week if I was consistent prior to what I'm doing now. But that started to, and I'm actually looking at my dashboard in front of me, but that started to kind of dip because I was losing the momentum, or I was getting sales. I wasn't necessarily thinking, okay, I don't have to top it up, right? And, I probably wasn't prioritizing it as such. But then I know you and we chatted quite a bit. You gave me a bit of a reality check in terms of, what if you did this, see what could happen. So I've been averaging 15 listings a day for the last, it must be, 6 weeks probably, maybe even more. And I think, so it must have been basically start of June, and nothing really changed too much in June, because I think it was that delayed snowball that you kind of mentioned earlier. But, July was my biggest month, and by far. So like I did 188 sales, which was, that basically, that was more than what I had done for the first 3-4 months combined, right, in terms of quantities. So, obviously ASP changes, what I've been selling has evolved over the months as well. But I think for me, it has been, that daily rep, and just making sure I am being consistent and putting it in. But also I've learnt to experiment a bit more as well. And I think a lot of us, we all experiment in different ways, whether it's, with postage, without postage, free postage, selling similar, ending. And then there's all these other little tweaks you can do with the promotions and all that. And I'm learning that so much as I go, because I'm trying to see what else I can do and learn. But I think the one thing that I've really enjoyed is spreading it out, and not necessarily narrowing down on just one thing, because there's not one thing that I'm necessarily good at, because always when I've done reselling always when I've done flipping before reselling, it's just been kind of things, oh, I know what that is, or, oh, that's cool, or, oh, I'm going to look this up because I just have a vibe, or, you just go in there and you've seen it before and you've seen it, sell for more. So you kind of suss it out. So I think going into that perspective and not just trying to focus on one thing, I'm trying to be open to learning more, and like going into jeans and going into clothing. I mean, I've learned so much from you guys with that. That's been really, really good. And there's still so much more I need to tap into on that, because sometimes what I've realized is you get into these categories and you're trying to list and you don't enjoy listing, or you can't get the process flow, or you didn't realize you needed to measure this to this. And, so then when you've got it listed, people asking these questions, but then, you can apply those learnings. So the next time you do it, you can bang it out a lot easier. So I think, I'm thriving off the learning experience. And, that's the type of person I am, because if you're not learning, you do get bored of it, which means you might not get bored of it, so you get comfortable with it, right? So then you don't necessarily go ahead and start seeing how you can improve it, especially, hitting $2,500 per month. I mean, that's not bad, right? So, for me, it's kind of like, oh, yeah, this isn't too bad. I'm happy with that. But then as soon as I took it from a different perspective and feedback from yourself, seeing how I could actually, start to really up the game, I've realized, oh, wow, what if I had been doing this earlier, right? But it's hindsight, right? So, you can now go apply and, I can move quicker, and I'm growing really, really quick. Even my margins are changing. I'm trying to get more bulk deals, working and networking with different people, building those relationships. And I've got so much more to go, but, so far, like, it's been just amazing to see what you can make of this.
Yeah. And I think there's sort of two things you touched on there, and it's probably for everyone. Like, there's different types of sellers, right? There's those of us that are like, we're like gung-ho, like we need to pay for all our expenses, we've got all these overheads, and like there's reasons that we're focusing in on those targets. And then there's other people that are at different stages of their life that don't need to be pushing as hard. I know, Wayno, you sort of, you don't really set goals, but obviously that you have an income that you need to bring in, but you're kind of more, I don't want to say relaxed because it's not the right word, but you're sort of more like comfortable in the way that you run your business. Like, you're not sort of like setting like, goals on goals. You're just kind of like, well, this is my business, I know what I do. You're very focused in what you sell. So do you want to talk a little bit about that, Wayno? Because I know that we've talked about it in the chat a little bit, just about, the different levels of goal setting, I suppose, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, like I've talked about it before, like, and I think I've probably come across as a bit blasé, or I don't really care or whatever, but I really do, like, and I know what I'm doing. I'm the polar opposite to Chris. I don't follow any of my numbers. I don't look at anything, but it is kind of in my head at the same time. So I do sort of know it, and I know what I'm doing. But yeah, like you said, I don't have the kind of expenses that a lot of people have. I don't have kids. I don't have the biggest expense, which is a partner. But yeah, like I really don't probably need to make as much money as a lot of people. I live sort of out in the country a little bit, and I've got super lucky with my house. My rent is super cheap for where I am. So yeah, I don't need to make as much money as like Dada, for instance, has got a young family, so he's going to need to make more money than me. So it's easy for me to be a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah,
but I am driven still. I still want, I want to make money, but I just want to do it my way, kind of thing. And if I get up and I don't want to list, I just won't do it.
And I think eBay works like, there's so many ways you can approach eBay, right? Like you can do it as a side gig and make some extra money to pay for, whatever you want to pay for. You can do it as a part-time gig where you're looking after your kids. You can do it full-time. You can do it, to pay the bills, but you don't need it to like, be anything big and massive. You can tailor it to what you want. So I think Jazz is just saying relaxed but driven is the sweet spot. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. And obviously, Judda's got, some pretty high targets. And I think for Chris, like coming into it as a new seller, like having that information available to you and the way that you see the world, that's only going to benefit you in the long run, because those are the things that drive you to get better, right? Whereas we all have different personalities. So the way we run our business is all going to be different. And the way we, improve is all going to be different as well. And the longer you get into something, you're going to change and adapt as you go. So I think it's very interesting because I'm very much of the goal setting, the targets. Like I don't go into like as much detail as Chris because Chris has got that, really analytical mind. But, I set targets regularly and we try and hit them all the time because that's the way that I get to that level. But that's not what everyone needs. Everyone needs something
100%.
different. Yeah.
If I set targets for myself, I would just completely fail at them all the time. I know I would because I just rather do things this, I'll go do this today. And, I don't, that's weird. It's hard to explain. I still get done what I need to get done.
Yeah. But it's the luxury of freedom, right? And I think that's what it plays is because everything we've all just discussed is we're all in different situations. We all have different needs that we need to, pay up for. And, for you, Wayno, it might mean, you just need to cover, rent kind of thing. And if you're making a bit more, but I think what I like is it sounds like you're not necessarily motivated by money, but you're just motivated to, do life, have fun and just, enjoying what you're doing, which in some sense is a lot better because a lot of the time we get so wrapped in the numbers, right? That, we actually lose focus of like, what are we even trying to achieve with this, right? And being able to have that flexibility is like, I'm not going to list today. It's, for someone like myself or maybe Brad, who's a bit more goal oriented as well, it's going to be like, I haven't done my 15 or, so we get into that routine, which can actually sometimes cause us to become, just routine junkies or people that don't know how to slow down. And balance is key, right?
And I think that's just like personality traits, right? It's just like, what do you thrive off of? So people are going to thrive differently. And Kara's thriving off half a block of carrot milk. So that was her goal for the evening. So
those are rookie numbers, Kara.
I'm actually quite confident I can finish a block by the time I get home from the supermarket. I don't even have to get in the door and it's gone. Come on, Kara, let's be game.
Let's be game.
But yeah, my sort of way of running things now, it really comes from my past of not being well. So my only goal is to be happy, pretty much. I was
that's the ultimate goal, right? Yeah.
I was a miserable bastard for years. I used to be, when I was younger, I was this fun, happy guy, everyone loved me. And I just slowly turned into this miserable prick who hated everyone, hated himself. And it was just because I was sick, really. I got sicker and sicker over the years. So I got through all that and I'm over it, completely over it. So pretty much that's why I sort of live how I live. Like, money's awesome. And I want to make as much money as I can. But if I'm not feeling it today, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, you're not willing to sacrifice your health for money, right? Like that's the And I think that's the ultimate. Like you've been through that part of your life where it was obviously quite difficult, and now you're kind of coming out of that and thriving. So you're putting yourself in the best position for yourself. So I think that's the great thing about whether it's eBay or running your own business is being able to set your time and what works for you. And then if something doesn't quite work out, well, then you only really have yourself to, improve and change and do what you need to do to make it work. So
I actually think it's probably the most, I think it's the thing you need the most is to look after yourself. Like it's to help you be more successful. Like I always say at the end of my videos, I said it one day by accident when I was just spurting words out at the end of my video. And I said, look after yourself, be kind. You just need to look after yourself, and then other things will take care of themselves as well. Yeah. Things will run a lot smoother.
I understand what you're saying there, because I think I was getting to the point with my job where I was just getting like so frustrated that like I couldn't stay there any longer for my own mental health. Like I could see myself just like getting more and more agitated with it, more and more like angry that I couldn't do what I wanted to be doing. So it was just a matter of like, all right, well, we have to pull this plug. We put ourselves in a position that's going to make it work. And now it's like, okay, now we just have to continue to build on that and improve. So yeah, I definitely that resonates with me a lot what you just said there, Wayno. So Wisdoms with Wayno, that could be your new segment, I reckon. Wisdoms with Wayno at the end of the videos. I'm keen for that. We've gone down a bit of a path here, but I will bring it back, and it's awesome chatting and getting into those like lower levels of stuff. Hey, like those like reasons behind why we do things. And I appreciate you sharing that, Wayne, because that's it's pretty important. But let's get into one of the normal segments of the week, and we will get into what sold sale of the week. We will start with Jada, I reckon. I think that's the right one. Now, mate, I didn't think you could sell toilet paper on eBay. I thought that was illegal.
Yeah, look, this one was just a, rub salt into the wounds, because this is the football club that knocked off my shit football club this week. So, they give a little back. They got me a sale, got the sale over the line. But, the old Vivid, it's a brand that I've spoken about a lot. It's vintage AFL from the late 90s. And it's just something that I love getting my hands on, whether it's collecting or selling. So this is one, I actually picked this one up on Depop a while ago. So this is just to show we're in lockdown, but there's still so many sourcing avenues. And I've touched on that on my channel in the past. And I find Depop to be a really good platform to source on. I constantly buy off there, constantly. I don't sell much on there. I'll struggle to get a sale a week on Depop, but I'm definitely putting back into the platform. And this one, I think I paid about $70 from memory, $70 on this one, and sold for the 180. So once again, if it's something that I'm comfortable with, I'm happy to pay up for. As we were discussing earlier, I've paid up to $500 for some vintage AFL stuff to resell. So, this one, I knew this would go. I didn't expect this one to be a quick mover. But when it comes to vintage AFL, I'm happy to sit on it because I know it's going to go eventually. And at the moment, I'm sort of in the process. I'm actually building a bit of a website. Mm-hmm. We sort of spoke about this a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And it's just sort of quite often, if I do like a video on YouTube now, I'm getting people messaging me wanting to buy stuff. And then, you're getting a couple of people wanting to buy the same thing. So I'm finding it easier because they want to help and support me, which is great, and go outside of eBay to avoid fees, plus get it cheaper themselves. So I figured if I can put it into a kind of a space, there's a price there if they want to buy it, first in, best dress. So I'm sort of in the process of building something at the minute. But there'll also be a lot of, my collection on there that I'm moving on in regards to not just football stuff, but other stuff. So that's sort of on the way. And I've got a lot of this sort of stuff sitting around going up at the moment. So this one, as I said, I've got this exact jacket in the mail on the way here too. I bought another one. So so we're this one, but I think I paid about $70. I can't remember now. I bought that much of this shit. It was about $70 for Depop, I think. That
one, that'd be some person jumping on bandwagon for the finals because they're all coming out of the woodwork now. I haven't heard from them for a while, but apparently they're all been supporting for a long time, apparently. It's a good story. I'm just going to jump in and smash that because I don't want to see that Port Adelaide thing sitting there for too much longer because it's just I'm not happy about it. So I had to come in with the Adelaide Crows. There we go. Eddie Betts' 300th game. He was his last game for Carlton on the weekend. So this one actually sold like 20 minutes after the game. So someone that wants a piece of Eddie Betts' history jumped on this jersey. This was a bit of RA that actually Jada put me onto a while back. So thank you, Jada. And I think you sold one as well, didn't you?
I sold the same one. I think it was the same day. I actually, to be fully honest, I had 20 of these. I think it was somewhere between 10 and 20, and I've got 2 left.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm definitely keeping one of those.
Yeah, I've kept a couple in the cupboard there, but I just had to get rid of that Port era out of the screen because I wasn't happy with it. But we'll move on to we'll go with Chris. Give me a second. I'll bring up yours. Tell us a little bit about this one, Chris.
Yeah, so not up in the hundreds, but I think the buy-in for this was 70 cents. It was out of a bulk lot of 2 boxes of books that I got, and I paid basically about $40 for the 2 boxes, $20 a box, and works out from after about 70 cents each. Now, this you can't really see it too much in the picture, but this is actually an original. It's kind of like a paper magazine from back in 1917, 1918. And someone had actually rebound it with just like a really good book cover and leather bound it, so it made it look like it was brand new. I didn't realize this when I got it because I just knew that the two boxes I got was war and Australian history, and I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm going to take a risk on it because there was a lot of older books in there, like nursing books and stuff, just, you know, from the 1920s and whatnot. So I figured something new, something fresh, and this is what I'm talking about, always learning, trying, and experimenting. And I listed this one, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and yeah, sold within 24 hours of it. Full price, $62.50 plus the $12.50 postage. So that's going out tomorrow morning. And I've actually got another one as well, which someone's watching. I don't know if I've underlisted it because someone else had this exact one without the bounding, because obviously the bounding's done by someone else. They've got that listed for $199, just the original version, but nowhere near as good quality. Like this is practically, it looks as if it was brand new. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that one. 70 cents in, can't complain with that.
Beautiful. That's quality right there. That's the sort of buying you want. And Wayne has actually got a live version for us, so I'm going to put it on solo layout. Here we go. Tell us about this bad boy.
Try and get the glare off it. Videotape. Out of my videotape lot, obviously. I sold this on Facebook for go back to the four of us. This is weird. I sold it for $80, including post. I could have got probably a bit more for it on eBay, but so much easier just to sell it on Facebook. Don't have to pay fees or whatever, and don't have to list it. So yeah, all the tapes that I sold this week on Facebook, I could have got more for them on eBay, but I also would have sat longer.
Yeah.
I probably would have listed this for $150. This is probably one of the best tapes in the lot. There wasn't no horror basically, but this is a whole horror movie, and it's rare as. So I probably would have listed this for $150, and then I probably would have accepted an offer of $120, pay about $20 fees.
Yeah.
So I'm better off just selling it straight away for $73 or whatever I'll get. So yeah, I find that's just way easier with this sort of stuff. And then the ones that don't sell them, a lot of the guys on the Facebook group were dicks in the end, to be honest. So like a couple of them were deleting comments or something and deleting offers, and then the bloke that ended up buying this, he said to me, so because he had a bid of 50, and then someone bid 65, and then he bid 70. And then the guy that bid 65 deleted his bid. So he deleted his bid of 70, which took him back to the winner at 50. It wasn't an auction, it was an offer, but he was the highest offer at 50. So I just ignored it. And a couple of days later, he messaged me and he said, mate, how much do you want to sell the lift for? And I said to him, to be honest, I got pissed off with you for deleting comments.
Yeah.
And,
that's like admins as well, by the sounds of it, because you can't do that without, So
I said, I'll do 100 posted, and he said 80, and I said, yeah, whatever, done.
80 for a VHS. That's it's they're out there, right? They just got to find them. So got to be able to do that. $80 straight back in the pocket. I did see a couple in the chat dropping in some sales. So if you've got any in the chat, let us know. Oz Riley sold 3 Neon Genesis Avenger. I can't even say that. Anime VHS tapes for 50 each. Let's go with that.
Nice.
Wow. Sold a cute Shona Joy dress for 120 plus post that I got at Savers for $15.
Amazing.
Yesterday. Love the quick turnaround.
I have to play that same card with Brad. I found a 90s player issue Crows Adidas jacket and paid $9.50 for it. Unfortunately, I didn't know that it was worth $300 and sold it for $200. Still massive ROI. Yeah, that's it. Sometimes you take those,
Jada was probably the one that purchased it off.
Right.
No, I'm aware of who did purchase it, and I'm pretty sure there is seller. But Daniel did actually reach out and he's like, this sold straight away. Did I go a bit low? And I said, yeah, I reckon it'll go for a bit more, but I said to him, it's probably a reseller that's bought it. But at the end of the day, there's no point in getting pissed because Daniel's made a lot more profit on it than that guy will. So,
yeah,
that's a good flip and really quick. You can't complain with that.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Take that every day. Scotty sold an action figure. I reckon he's probably sold more than one. I was actually listing some WWE figures the other day, and his listings came up. So I did a sneaky sell similar on him. So thank you very much, Scotty. Appreciate it.
Forever doing that to Scotty. He lists well because he fills out all his specifics. So I don't have to do much when I'm listing figures these days.
I did. I don't know if I should say this. I did notice that he was playing some games with some of the descriptions that he was putting in. He wasn't. It definitely wasn't the same type of thing that he was listing. I think he was just playing games with eBay. So he was having a bit of fun in the old item.
Keyword game. It's a keyword game.
Just not people doing the sell similars.
Yeah, probably. He's under it.
It's a little strategy I use as well. Just quickly, it's something because you've only got so much space in your title. All those item specifics. If you put something in there, it's going to show up as a search result.
It's like metadata. It's like hashtags almost.
Essentially, you've got other keywords there. So you put whatever the hell you want to put in those specifics, they're going to show up in listings.
I'm pretty sure it was like Scooby-Doo in like the actor or something. And I was like, well, if it works, I mean. We got a bolo from Daniel. I want to share this bolo. Paid $130 for an Epson Workforce wireless printer model WF100 and sold it for $270 plus postage. Was new in box. That's why I got top dollar. Retails a little over $300. Awesome. Keep your eye out for those Workforce printers, and even those little document printers. I don't even know if I've got one, but there's those thermal document printers that you get from a retail store when they print you out a receipt. Even some of those can go for crazy money. We had like 4 or 5 of them from the ink hall, and all of them went for over $100. So
wow.
Yeah, keep an eye out. That's a good bowler there. We've got some internationals jumping in. What is up, Leanne? Good to see you. Always love having you here. Thanks for dropping in. Quan's pair of Nike TNs, the market for 5 into 200. That's nice. Yeah. My first pair of real diesel jeans bought for $2, sold for $83. There is a lot of fakes out there, unfortunately, with them NG stuff. Love finding diesel. That gets me item specific. NAX don't know. Yeah, NA goes in a few of mine, I can tell you. Sheree found a few fake ones, then my partner found a real pair. That's awesome. And disgruntled octopus sold some lube. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? I mean, there's a market, so why not? Scanning.
What's that little slippery fucking need lube for?
It's true. All right, boys, we're smashing through this episode, so we better get into our dog shit. So here he is. Here's old mate. Woo! Apparently, there he is, squeezing out the old eBay turd. So I want to hear from you boys. Let the bottom guys have a little quick think. It doesn't have to be of the week, but it can be, since the last time we had you on. But we'll go straight to Flipper first. Any dog shit this week? I know you had a dog shit last week that's kind of turned into less of a dog shit. I don't know if you want to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, might as well, because pretty well eBay dog shit free that I can think of. There's lockdowns and footy teams and stuff that I mentioned, but eBay's pretty good this week. The last time we're on, I spoke about that I was going to do a video on an auction lot that I got where it was all just crap. Now, I didn't do the video on it because they've kind of come to the party and they said they are going to refund me. They're yet to refund me, though. So I'm still sort of on the edge there with that one. I don't really know what's going on. So regardless, I will still put it in a video just so I can show people. But I won't be as harsh if they do give me my money back. I'll explain kind of.
There'll be less F words and Ellie's coming up in the.
Did you tell them that you were gonna look? I've got 2,000 subscribers and I'm gonna make a video. And
I might have mentioned that we'd take it a little bit further, and some eyes would get on it, but I wasn't aggressive. But I basically stated I wasn't happy. I showed absolutely everything. I ended up. So I think it was when we came on last week how I said some of the stuff was damaged. I don't think at that point I had the charger for the PSP, so that was the main reason I bought the console lot. So basically, the PlayStation 3 had like a wire hanging out of it, and I tested that. It didn't work. The PSP didn't have the charger, so it had all the wrong chargers for all the wrong consoles. I still purchased off eBay some leads and all that sort of stuff to test this stuff out. Nothing worked, not a single console. And they've given me, I've got 2 PlayStation 1s there that don't work, PSP that doesn't work, and a PS3 that doesn't work. But I've got the cords for the Wii and the Xbox. So I can't test them without going further and getting those cords. And basically none of them worked. So I've contacted them. I said, this is bullshit. I've paid a lot of money for this stuff, money back. I want to send it back. They reviewed it. I put in the review and they basically said, yeah, you're going to get refunded. Not good enough. So I don't even know if I have to send the stuff back. They haven't asked for it yet, but I'm more than happy to send it back. I don't want the shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then there was another. So that come from one lot. This was over a period of 2 days. So there was 2 different auction lots from 2 different warehouses. The next one was a lot of video games, so retro video games and stuff. And one of them that I've got, I can't remember if I actually showed it on here or not, but it just had a big split through it.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely checked this shit. They say we can't test it. Fair enough. Like I'm going in,
cracking it, right?
I'm 100% aware that they can't test that. I'm fine with that. They don't have the time or the staff to do that. But when it's got a big split in it and they haven't actually pulled that out of the box to show a photo, I mean, that's pretty simple, So it looks like it's going to get sorted. I haven't been refunded yet, but they said they're going to go through it. So that one. And then there was the same mob, we had a couple of weeks ago with when Mitch and Aaron were on here, we had the motorbike helmets and they didn't disclose that these helmets were actually just novelty use only. And they were kind of, what I thought useless, but I actually sold a couple this weekend. So I went for $69 plus post. This is a helmet you cannot actually use. So one of it's gone. Wayne's asking for the helmets there. And there's another one which was an actual skate helmet, a proper one that was $50 plus post. So a lot of them in box were going, and I've paid about $7 each. So it looks like that one's actually going to be all right for me. I'll touch on that because I think I'll do the video just about auctions in general because I use auction houses a lot. I try and run my business on multiple different ways of reselling, not just op shops. I actually want op shops to be about 10% of my business. So, it's something I like to do as the auction houses. So I might touch on it a bit more this week and show everyone exactly the dog shit that was spilled out onto the plate for me.
Wow. I just want to pick up on Leanne's dog shit before we move on to where to go. I had some dog shit this week, ordered some stock. They sent it to Australia instead of Ireland.
Oh, jeepers.
Well, look, if they accidentally sent it to one of us, I mean, we would take it. I mean, that is a bit dog shit. That's a pretty big mistake. It's not like we're like next door to each other or anything.
No.
It's kind of opposite sides of the world. Chris, what about you, mate? Any dog shit for you lately?
Nothing too bad. But I mean, I did have someone. It was kind of funny because someone hadn't received an item, and by all means, it was the day after it was estimated, and they kind of raised, item not delivered, right? Which, after hearing you guys always thinking, does that mean all my sales are going to drop off because someone's raised a case against me? So I got it, and I said to the guy, I said, look, it says that it's literally one postcode across from your place. It's a day after. Maybe just wait, 2 days to the end of the week and we can raise a case with Australia Post and figure it out. But always when I get this kind of thing, I jump onto eBay chat and say, hey, look, guys, this has happened, la-da-da-da. Get it up front with them, and then they just do a quick spot check and they give me that, I guess, reassurance that, yep, tracking's all there, this is all good, you're covered regardless of what happens kind of thing. And then I've got that in writing, and then I don't care what happens. But it's a bit annoying because the guy could have just messaged me and I could have just kind of said, well, I would have said exactly the same thing. Have you checked your tracking? And it arrived the next day. So but it was just like, I mean, come on, dude. Like it's a bit of a waste of time, but it's one of the things. And Australia Post has been painful at this moment, which I think we all know because of the current situation. So I had another person, he didn't raise a case, but, he was reaching out, so, where's my item? Hasn't arrived yet. This was going to be a present, getting all annoyed. And, I said, he had raised a case actually with Australia Post. He hadn't got a response, asked if I could help. I did reach out, but I didn't even get a response. He eventually got it about 5 days late. And he gave me real good feedback. He said, really good seller. Item was delayed, but nothing to do with him. It was all Australia Post stuff up. So the thing I want to try and make sure to do is keeping the conversation open with the customers, keeping them happy, because I am still on that 100%, and you know, I'm still low numbers, and I want to continue to build that momentum. So, you know, I don't want to waste my time on it either, but you know, I think you have to give a bit of tit for tat to be able to ensure that you are keeping those people invested and happy, especially with everyone on edge at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And those older items not delivered are always annoying, and yeah, often they show up like the next day or whatever. We've had a couple over the time, but I feel like sometimes they just need to message you and then not leave negative feedback. Like just contact me first, and I'll try and do my best to resolve it.
But even like they hadn't even waited like 24 hours after it was delayed, and Australia Post has over, it's like, you know, things that are expected to be 7 days are coming up to 12 days, right? It like literally says that on their website. Like, it's like, you know, don't freak out, dude. And maybe he hasn't been buying a lot recently, which could be quite possible because it was a gift. And that's why I'm thinking, okay, I'll just help the guy out. You know, that's the best I can do. And it gave me really good feedback. So it can be frustrating and time wasting, but got to look at it in their shoes. They're all thinking, where's my item? Where's my item? When, you know, it's not really got anything to do with me, but I'll do my best to give you the, you know, the best experience possible.
And we're posting regularly, so we see these things, like we see when stuff's taking longer than normal. So we kind of understand that. But if it's just a once-off buy, they're probably not going to know that things are slowing up and taking longer than normal. Yeah. So, yeah, interesting one. What about you, Wayno? You got any dog shit for us, mate?
Yeah, well, I got a similar one. This isn't the one I was going to go with, but Chris just reminded me of this. This was like last week or something like that. Lady messages me the day that eBay said it should arrive by. She messages me that day, hasn't arrived yet, what's going on? And I replied to her and I just said, look, you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic. So, sometimes things get delayed. Like Australia Post have told us that things are being delayed and things can take longer to arrive and all that sort of stuff. My package wasn't tracked. It was a large letter for $15. And so I replied to her. She did not reply, and the next day she just filed an item not received. And I just thought, how does your brain work? Like, I've explained it all to you in detail. Like, I wrote it out so a bloody monkey could figure it out. And she still just went ahead and did it anyway. So I've had a few people do that. Not that many, but a couple of people do that. So now I just refund them straight away because it does hurt your sales when you get one of those requests. So I refunded her straight away, and I messaged her and I said, look, I'm not sure if you got my previous message explaining that, you know, the COVID delays and stuff that's going on with Australia Post, but I've refunded you. Please do me a favour. When it turns up, let me know, because I'm running a small business and things like this hurt my small business. And cheers, Wayne, and never heard back from her.
Yeah, of course not.
Some people are just scumbags. So yeah, a lot of people, I know a lot of sellers don't like to send DVDs untracked, but for me, because I send so many, the difference between $2.20 and $4.50. So $2. If I lose one out of every 100, I've still saved $200. I've just refunded $15, so I just put that down as that's going to happen occasionally. I don't let it bother me. I don't get worked up about it or anything. Just refund them, just block them, and move on. So they don't get the pleasure of buying from Uncle Wayno again.
It is a pleasure, mate. That's the truth. It is annoying when that happens, and when it's untracked, you have no leg to stand on. We had a CD that did the same thing, and I just refunded. I didn't even dispute it. I didn't even try and tell them it's probably coming. I was just like, have your $15 back. I don't want to deal with you. Block you. See you later. Because chances are it's either probably already rocked up and they're trying to do a dodgy, or it's going to rock up in 2 days' time and they're going to get their money back anyway. So pain in the ass. But yeah, I did see one in the chat about Sendle. So this was apparently in transit for quite a while. Investigated, unable to deliver, redelivered, requested, concluded investigation, parcel not found, cover claim submitted. So it looks like they paid out the claim and then they delivered it later on. That's it's impressive. Good work, Sendle.
I should say actually, I have had a couple of buyers contact me like a week later and say, look, this turned up. How do I pay you?
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
Which is good, right?
There are genuine people out there, but I mean, most buyers are genuine people. But yeah, sometimes things happen, and there's not much you can do about it.
Agree, Wayne. I would agree with anything that magnificent beard says. And just quickly for us, I don't think we've had any real bad dog shit return. Really slow day Tuesday, like Brad said. But apart from that, we're doing all right, enjoying the full-time life, and no lockdowns for us. So we're very, very lucky, and I hope that everyone that is in lockdown, if you need any support or want to reach out to anybody, I'm sure everyone's happy and has their inboxes open to chat. And yeah, if you are struggling with stock, there's people out there that can help you out as well. So we got a great little community in Australia. So yeah, definitely try and help everyone out. So we're past the hour mark, so we've absolutely smashed this episode, and it feels like 5 minutes. But I just wanted to thank Chris and Wayne for jumping on at pretty late notice. I only hit them up yesterday, so appreciate the boys for jumping on. It's always great to have them. As I said at the start, links are in the description, so make sure you head over there, give them a bit of feedback on some of the videos, and tell them you're enjoying it, because putting time into videos it does take time. So anyone that's putting them out, it's definitely worth giving them some good feedback and supporting their channels. So wanted to thank everyone for coming tonight. We will be back hopefully next week on Wide World of Reselling. We're sort of not committing to every week at this stage, but we'll make sure we update everyone as we go. Obviously, a lot of people in lockdown dealing with a lot of different things, so we're just trying to play the cards as we go. But really appreciate everyone being here, and we hope we brought a little bit of fun to your Sunday night. And stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time on Wide World of Reselling.
Cheers,
Thanks,
everyone.
guys.
Bye.